When I first moved into a nursing home, I believed I would be taken care of. I thought I would be surrounded by people, and my family would visit me often. But I quickly learned that the hardest part of being here is not the routine, not the structured schedule, and not even the loss of independence, it's the loneliness. At first, the visits came frequently. My children would stop by, my grandchildren would call. It felt like I was still a part of their lives. But as time passed, the visits became less frequent. Calls turned into quick messages, then silence. I began to wonder, did they forget about me? Or did they just move on? This is the reality for many seniors in nursing homes. They enter with the expectation of care, comfort, and connection. But soon, they realize they have become an afterthought. Life outside moves forward, and they are left waiting. I remember meeting a man named Richard. He had 4 children and countless grandchildren. He was sure that moving into a nursing home would make things easier for his family, they wouldn't have to worry about him being alone. But the visits became shorter, and then they stopped. One day, he told me, I used to be the center of my family's world. Now, I feel like I barely exist. The truth is, when you move into a nursing home, the world does not stop for you. Your family continues their lives, and without realizing it, you become part of their past, not their present. So before making the decision to move into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared for the emotional toll of feeling forgotten? Stay with me, because in this video, I will show you exactly why so many elders regret moving into a nursing home, and how you can avoid the same fate. At first, the visits are frequent. The first week, family members come every day, bringing flowers, favorite foods, and warm hugs. The first month, they visit every weekend, filling the room with laughter and conversation. But slowly, something changes. Life outside moves forward. Work schedules get busier. Children have school, parents have responsibilities, and weekends fill up with errands and plans. Before you know it, those weekly visits turn into monthly visits. Then, they turn into short phone calls. And eventually, the phone stops ringing altogether. I met a woman named Margaret. She moved into a nursing home thinking it would be easier for her family. At first, her daughter called every morning. Then, the calls became every other day. Soon, it was once a week. And now, Margaret says she's lucky if she hears from her daughter once a month. She tells me she's busy, Margaret said, and I understand. But I can't help feeling like I've been left behind. This is what happens in nursing homes, not because families don't love their elders, but because life doesn't stop for them. The structured environment of a nursing home makes family members feel like their loved ones are taken care of, so they don't feel the urgency to check in as often. But what about emotional care? What about companionship? A nursing home can provide meals and medication, but it cannot replace the warmth of family. And for many seniors, that loss is devastating. So before deciding to move into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared for the slow fade, the quiet disappearance of family visits, the loneliness that builds with time? Stay with me, because in this video, I will uncover why so many elders regret moving into a nursing home, and what you can do to prevent it. Loneliness isn't just about being alone, it's about feeling invisible. It's about sitting in a room full of people, yet feeling like no one truly sees you. This is the reality for many seniors living in nursing homes. At first, the phone calls come in frequently. Families ask how you're settling in, if you need anything, if you're adjusting well. But then, the conversations become shorter, more routine. How are you? Did you take your medication? We'll visit soon. And soon, even those conversations become rare. Many seniors don't want to bother their families. They don't want to sound like a burden, so they stop calling. They wait, hoping their children or grandchildren will call first. But the phone sits silent. The letters that come are often just holiday greetings, sent out of obligation rather than genuine connection. I met a man named Richard in a nursing home. He used to be the head of his family, the one everyone turned to for advice, for wisdom, for strength. But now, he told me, I'm just a voice on the phone. If they even pick up. Even the staff, as kind as they may be, have their own schedules, their own priorities. They assist with meals, administer medication, and ensure that physical needs are met. But emotional care? That's something different. That's something that often disappears once family stops visiting. Being cared for physically is not the same as being cared for emotionally. A warm meal and a clean bed do not replace meaningful conversations and deep connections. So before deciding to move into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared to go from being a central part of your family's life to becoming an afterthought? Stay with me, because in this video, I will uncover why so many elders regret moving into a nursing home, and what you can do to prevent it. Moving into a nursing home doesn't just change where you live, it changes how your family sees you. It changes how often they visit, how they interact with you, and even how they remember you. At first, families feel relief. They tell themselves, Mom is safe now, or Dad is getting professional care. They assume their loved one is well taken care of, so they stop worrying as much. But what happens next? They also stop checking in as often. Special occasions begin to feel different. Holidays, once filled with laughter and long dinners, become brief visits. Sometimes, they don't happen at all. A Thanksgiving dinner where a grandparent is missing. A Christmas where gifts are dropped off, but no real time is spent together. I spoke to a grandmother who told me, I used to see my grandson every day. I watched him grow up, helped him with his homework, told him bedtime stories. Now, I only see him at Christmas. And what about the grandchildren? They grow up with less connection to their grandparents. No more shared wisdom, no more lessons learned at the kitchen table. A once vital part of their family's foundation slowly fades into just a distant memory. A nursing home provides care, but it can't replace family. No amount of medical assistance, scheduled activities, or professional staff can fill the void of genuine love, warmth, and connection. So before moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to trade daily family moments for occasional visits? Are you prepared to become a holiday obligation rather than a central figure in your family's life? Stay with me, because in this video, I will show you the reality of how family relationships change once a senior moves into a nursing home, and what you can do to prevent it. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, the good news is that you can still make a difference. Isolation and loneliness are not inevitable, but it takes effort from families, friends, and even the residents themselves to rebuild the lost connections. First, schedule regular calls. Even 5 minutes a day can mean the world to someone who feels forgotten. A quick, "How was your day?" or "What did you have for lunch?" reminds them they still matter. The difference between feeling abandoned and feeling loved can be as simple as hearing a familiar voice. Next, visit without waiting for a special occasion. Don't make birthdays and holidays the only days you show up. Surprise visits, casual drop-ins, even a spontaneous cup of coffee together can bring more joy than the most extravagant Christmas gift. Encourage them to participate in group activities within the nursing home. Many seniors hesitate to socialize, thinking no one understands them. But the truth is, there are others in the same situation. Whether it's a book club, a painting class, or a small music session, finding companionship within the home can be a powerful antidote to loneliness. Consider alternative care options if possible. Nursing homes are not the only choice. Assisted living communities, home care services, or even modifying a home to accommodate a senior's needs can make a world of difference. One family I spoke to decided to move their mother back home with part-time caregiving support. The result? She regained her happiness, felt valued again, and even improved her physical health. A daughter I met shared a simple yet powerful story. She started a weekly family night at the nursing home. Every Sunday, she and her siblings would visit, bring dinner, and spend time with their father. For the first time in years, he felt like part of the family again. The key takeaway is simple: love and presence matter more than any medical care. A nursing home might provide safety, but it's up to families to provide connection. So before you assume your loved one is fine just because they have food, shelter, and medical assistance, ask yourself, are they truly living, or just existing? Regret moving into a nursing home? Many do, not because of the medical care, but because of what they lost. The feeling of being part of a family. The daily conversations. The small, meaningful interactions that remind them they are loved. Today, we've uncovered a harsh reality: nursing homes may meet physical needs, but emotional care is often neglected. Seniors who move in expecting companionship and connection sometimes find themselves more isolated than ever. Family visits start strong but slowly fade. Life outside moves on, while those inside feel left behind. And eventually, many elders begin to feel like an afterthought rather than a priority. But it doesn't have to be this way. The good news is that small efforts can make a big difference. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, don't let time and distance create emotional separation. Call them. A 5-minute phone call can brighten their day more than you realize. Visit them. Not just on holidays, but on regular days, when they least expect it but need it most. Encourage them to engage. Help them find social activities within the home, keep them involved in family discussions, and remind them they are still an important part of your life. A simple effort can bring warmth to a heart that feels forgotten. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you or a loved one experienced this reality? Have you seen the slow fade of family connection in nursing homes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to understand another hidden truth, how nursing homes may actually weaken you instead of making you stronger, stay tuned for our next episode, The Physical Decline: Why Nursing Homes Make You Weaker, Not Stronger.